A good news story for today's This Is Truly News.
Oh,
I know you can hardly wait.
it's so heartwarming.
Yep. If you want to hear good news stories like that and, weird crap like the normal stuff we do, like, subscribe, and follow This Is Truly News. We'd appreciate that because, they're coming in by droves, if by droves, one or two. Like, subscribe, and follow. And if you have a story for us, TITR@netradio.network would be spectacular.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true,
Really?
as far as you know.
Scott?
Stupid stuff.
I'm not drinking anything, so go ahead.
I was waiting for you to take a drink.
Mm-mm.
My aunt only got one of her twins tested for COVID because she said they're twins.
You can't argue with logic like that.
Well, one twin has, so does the other, I suppose.
They're twins, dude.
Is this like spooky motion at a distance? They're quantumly entangled?
They're twins, of course.
Yeah, of
There's
course.
There's that magical twin thing.
Yeah, where
It's
they
called
do
twin
it.
magic.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how it works, but it's there.
Okay. Tigers are girl lions, said my 40-year-old ex-boyfriend who is a nuclear engineer.
Yes, he is.
Oh. And he's also an Aspie.
Who?
He has Asperger's. I guarantee it. Nuclear engineer. He's an Aspie.
Could be.
After I told my college suite mate I was taking Spanish courses, she said, "Look, I don't mean to stereotype, but you look too white to speak Spanish."
Well, you may not mean to. Did you ever notice I don't mean to, or no disrespect, always is followed by something stupid that they meant to?
Yep.
And there's disrespect.
No, every time. I was talking to the cashier at a 24-hour Tesco's at about 1 a.m. He says, "I don't mind working nights because I'm a necrophile." I said,
No.
Do you mean nocturnal?
That'd be better.
Yeah, I think so. And finally,
Oh, boy.
go ahead, drink something. I love this part.
Uh-uh.
Someone asked me, "Are you right-handed or left-handed?"
Oh, no.
I have only one arm.
So he's not amphibious then. Good news. The prayers of a Tennessee church have been answered. When whoever stole a moving truck near its building did not keep what they found inside, organ pipes. And lots of them. Remember, we did that story. Moving truck got hijacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And take was organ pipes. Well, the old organ pipes have been found. Calvary Episcopal in downtown Memphis had loaded a Penske truck with nearly 2,000 organ pipes for transport to the Spencer Organ Company in Boston, where they're going to be restored.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the truck was swiped after it was loaded.
Were there
2 days
lobsters
later,
in it?
Organ pipes.
Doesn't mean there couldn't be lobsters.
It's Memphis.
They like seafood in Memphis.
They're landlocked. Just saying.
They could fly it in.
Do you know Memphis is one of the top 5 most dangerous cities?
Is it really?
Yeah, and Chicago didn't make the top 10. Wow, you other guys are overachievers.
Well, either that or there's something skewed in the stats.
Yeah, I think St. Louis was number 1 or 2. Yeah, so it can't be too skewed. A few days later, police found this truck and many of the nearly 90-year-old pipes, but they recovered even more over the weekend.
Good.
Latest recovery came after cops got a Crime Stopper tip that led officers to a van that was parked near where they found the truck. Memphis PD has impounded the van. The organ pipes are now back off to restoration, according to the Calvary Church rector.
And where are you going to fence hot
I'm thinking
organ pipes?
All you can do is, look, they loaded something in there with big boxes.
Yeah.
We could be rich.
No, you can't.
No, you can just be stupid.
Hundreds compete in cheese rolling race. Competitors chased a 7-pound double.
Didn't we just do that?
Stop! I've got a way of dealing with this. When we both get the same story,
Okay.
I just have to come up with a different angle.
Oh,
Let me reveal my angle.
go ahead. Angle on, my wayward son.
Competitors chased a 7-pound double Gloucester cheese wheel down the almost vertical Cooper's Hill in Brockworth near Gloucester the other day. The world-famous event went ahead despite safety fears. You know who won for the men and the women, right?
Yep.
We have their
19-year-old
quotes.
Canadian chick.
Yeah, I remember running,
Knocked
then bumping
unconscious
my head.
briefly.
Yep. Kyla Hill of Team Cheese, the group of volunteers who help organize the event,
Of course they are.
said she was passionate about cheese rolling.
Are there leagues?
You wonder if there are. And if,
They're little.
if you win a couple seasons in a row, do you move up?
You do.
Like
Otherwise,
the
you're
Champions League or
delegated down, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got to
relegated
win a
down,
certain
sorry.
amount per year.
you
Yeah.
have are there whole kids leagues?
I would imagine.
Like Pee-wee cheese chasing.
Right. They're running. They run down molehills.
Yeah, they're smaller hills.
Yeah, exactly. It puts Buckworth
You have to
Village.
get to be about 10 or 12 before you get to good sliding hills.
Exactly. It puts Brockworth Village on the map, makes us a bit famous, draws people from all over the world, she said.
And hasn't killed anyone this year.
Talking to a couple last night who'd come over from Washington, especially.
Our Washington?
That's what I'm guessing.
That
But
explains
which
a lot.
one? D.C.
I think,
or the state?
No, I'm thinking the state of.
Really?
Yeah, because most of the people in Washington, D.C. are too old. They have to be at Congress.
Oh, that's true.
You know,
Another international winner was Roya Minami from Japan.
Janjo.
Now, a Japanese fella whose name is just very strange to me. Asked why he entered the race, he replied, "Because I love cheese." And some came from
And he's
Texas,
willing to chase it down a damn hill to get it.
and some came from Switzerland for the event. There.
Texas, I understand. Although there they roll the cheese, and if you shoot it, it's yours.
That's how they make their white American cheese Swiss.
Holy stupid Batman. The 24 bright green parrots began chirping and bobbing their heads the second anyone neared the large cages that had been their homes since hatching in March.
Oh, my.
I just like the name. This came out of Loxahatchee, Florida.
Okay.
The Central American natives seized from a smuggler at Miami International are being raised by the Rare Species Conservatory Foundation. I didn't really know there was one. With round-the-clock efforts that includes 5 hand feedings in a room filled with large cages. Because small cages would be rude. Just 9 weeks old, these parrots have already survived a harrowing journey after being snatched from their nests in the forest, where many female lions known as tigers were waiting. They are I'm going to see how many I can get in here. They're almost fully feathered now. What do they wear for this? I mean, other than diapers, I suppose, because they're, babies. They're almost fully feathered now, and staff has started transitioning them from a special formula to a diet of food pellets and fruit. Are you ready to meet the children? Said Paul Ryo, a Florida International University professor and director of the foundation.
Who's a bit smarmy, I might add.
He led visitors into a small building tucked behind a sprawling house in Loxahatchee near West Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm.
They are hand-raised babies, he said, as the chicks squawked and looked inquisitive at the visitors. They've never seen mom and dad. They've been raised by us since they hatched. So do they think they're people?
They think they belong with people. I can give you that much.
Do they want an iPhone? It was the hatchling's faint chirping inside a carry-on bag at the Miami airport that brought the attention of U.S. Customs and Border Protection. No kidding. You're trying to smuggle something and it just won't stay quiet.
Right. Absolutely. Those bees were impossible.
The passenger Shu Ta Wu had just arrived on Taka Airlines Flight 392 from Managua, Nicaragua.
Remember that was in the news all the time?
Yep. Managua.
Yep.
Well, there was wasn't it a hurricane or?
Well, there was that, and there was the revolution.
Back in the 70s. Oh, Managua, Nicaragua.
Yep. Yep.
And it's like, it's not France, it's France.
Yep. Yep. It sounds bad as Managua, Nicaragua.
It's the Tour de France. No, it's the Tour de France in here, the U.S. It's the Tour de France. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the big cheaters race.
No, that's where they go downhill. They roll a cheater downhill.
Is a cheater a boy or a girl lion? See, I've stumped you there. Yep.
Anyway, the passenger coming from Managua was changing flights in Miami to return home to Taiwan, which is apparently where he's going to, I'm guessing, sell the eggs or the.
I would imagine.
I'm guessing if they were chirping, they weren't eggs any longer. The officer stopped Wu at a checkpoint. He was asked about the sound coming from his bag.
Said I have gas.
Which Rayo later described as a sophisticated temperature-controlled cooler. Wu reached in, pulled out a smaller bag, and showed the officer an egg. The officer then, not being stupid, looked inside and saw more eggs and a tiny featherless bird that had just hatched. Damn his timing. He told the officer there were 29 eggs and he did not have documentation to transport the birds, according to the complaint. So he was arrested. Pled guilty to charges of smuggling birds into the U.S. He faces up to 20 years in prison. Sentencing is coming up in August.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.